see. I gotta hit all the buttons. Okay, we're there. Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday, and this will be a Monday show. We're here with Sharon out in Philadelphia. Sharon, hello. Happy Wednesday. We are getting ready to record a podcast. Sharon's been on many Disney adventures, so we've been spending the last 10 minutes trying to decide which one we're going to talk about. I think we're going to focus on a Disney Magic cruise because we don't talk about the Magic very much, and a lot of folks are curious about what that ship might be like. It's also an Eastern Caribbean cruise, so a little selfishly, I kind of want to hear about it because I'm sailing on that one in about 36 days. Never been there. Tortola, never been. St. Thomas, never been. Castaway Cay, been a bunch of times. Love it. But I love all the sea days too. So we'll talk about that and maybe a few other things to tie in. A couple of fun other kind of cool things she's done over the past. But yeah, we're going to get going here. So hope everybody's having a great Wednesday. Hang out with us as we get the show ready for the feed on Monday. So Monday will be...
Mike, have you been on the Magic at all?
I was on the Magic the year Disney Cruise Line launched, 1998. I think.
Very cool.
Is that the year?
I think so. I think you're right.
I was young. I was 25 years ago, 26. Yeah, I went on the Magic the year it launched, and I went on the Wonder the year it launched.
Does yours go out of Port Canaveral or Miami?
Port Canaveral.
Okay, ours left from Miami.
Yep, so I sailed one time out of Miami on the Wonder on a spring break cruise to the Western Caribbean.
Okay.
That was the Wonder. That was years ago.
Which is the sister ship, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Mallory went on that one with us. Okay, what am I looking for? I'm looking to see what Monday is. Monday. Wow, Monday is, holy cow, is Monday June 3rd? Wow, it is. Now, you said you're a teacher. What do you teach real quick?
I teach 3rd to 5th grade students with special needs.
Awesome.
In a self-contained classroom. So it's super fun. It's like a little family.
I taught 4 to 6 gifted education. So basically the same thing.
Yeah. What I'm talking about, like you just bond with your people.
Exactly. I taught 6th grade forever. Then I decided to go. People were like, you should teach gifted. I was like, well, why not? I need something different. There you go. Was great with my wife taught next door, so we taught 6th grade together for years, and then I'm like, I'll teach gifted. They're like, you'll have classes of like 8. I'm like, I can do that. You won't have to grade anything. I'm like, I'm in.
I have 8, but I have like a bunch of helpers and nurses, so there's a lot of adults in the room, but it's like a really, really fun vibe.
See, I didn't have any of that. I just had a lot but I had like 12 personalities per kid with the gifted kids because they're all smarter than me.
That's great.
I had to pretend like I was as smart as they were. And yes, that is correct. Let's look that up on Google real quick because they were so. I love those kids. So they were awesome. I miss them. Some days I'm just glad I'm in a quiet room. When my wife gets home from work every day and tells me her stories, I'm like, God, I'm glad I'm just in a quiet room all day by myself. But I do miss it other days, you know.
There's very few times where I'm actually by myself throughout the day.
Exactly. See, when she gets home, I'm always like, let's go out and get something to eat so I can see people. She's like, I just want to be home where it's quiet. I just want to sit in my chair. I'm like, I've been by myself all day.
Gone from all this talking.
Okay. Well, I have a question for you about Disney Cruise Line dining. I got to ask you because we had a question on Wednesday's show just about, and you're a perfect person to ask. Okay, so here we go. We're going 2498. All right. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2498 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Monday to you and welcome to the month of June. How about that? We've officially made it this summer. Once you get into June, you know it is time to head to the pool and get outside and enjoy, hopefully, some great weather where you are here in the Northern Hemisphere. And again, podcasting is awesome because we have listeners down in the Southern Hemisphere. It's our turn to have the nice weather. So hang in there as you guys are enjoying wintertime down there. All of our Australian listeners, you'll make it. But today, we're going to warm you up with some fun Disney talk. We're going to focus on Disney Cruise Line again for the majority of today's show, but we're going to throw in a little bit of Walt Disney World talk at the end, so hang tight. So lots of fun Disney content coming your way over the next 40 minutes. So today, headed out to Philadelphia way with our good friend Sharon. Sharon, happy Monday. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. And, we're talking in the pre-show. You are a teacher who is wrapping up another, hopefully very successful school year. So I just want to say thank you for being there for the kids. We love our teachers here on the show. And, you guys don't get the accolades and the appreciation that you deserve. And I know it's been a grind, but the light is at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully it's not a train coming right at you.
Yes, this year actually flew by. And I didn't miss a single day this year.
Oh my gosh. A quick story. I always have a quick story for something like that. They gave in my district my second year of teaching. This was back in the 90s. Okay. This is a long ago I taught. They gave an incentive $300. This is when you made no money as a first year or second year teacher in our district. Like you made dirt.
Mm-hmm.
So if you didn't miss a day, you got a $300 bonus at the end of the year. I swear I think I got the bubonic plague or something that year. And it was like April. I was not going to miss school and miss out of that $300. I remember on my plan period, I collapsed and slept under my desk. I turned the lights out in my classroom. My kids were at PE. It was my plan period. I sent my kids off to PE. I just turned the lights off on my desk. I locked my door from the inside so nobody could come in, turned out the lights, set my alarm on I don't think I had an iPhone back then, like a watch or something, and just collapsed under my desk. And then I had a nightmare that the superintendent was doing site visits or something. I remember I jumped up, hit my head on my desk. It was just terrible. But that reminded me. So congratulations on perfect attendance.
Yeah, I think we get a 200 in a raffle for a $200 gift card. But I think, if we don't miss any more days for the rest of the year. So
when COVID came around, people were like, that was the dumbest idea ever. You were probably spreading whatever you had to your entire class.
But now how quickly we forget. We're back at it.
Exactly. Because I was probably sicker than a dog, and I was probably sick for a week, but I was like, dude, I've made it to April, man. You are not dragging me out of that $300, man. That's a lot of money to some single dude that's trying to make it back. But congratulations.
Teacher, it's easier to be at work than it is to come up with sub plans or emergency plans. So it's like, you know what? I'll just power through.
Preach. No, truer words have ever been said. Sub plans are brutal. Then you get back and your room's trashed. Anyway, so we are going to talk Disney today. Got a lot to share today, but tell us about your Disney fandom though. And it's weird because I found this out so many times, like the teachers in Disney, they go together like chocolate chips and milk, chocolate chip cookies and milk. It's a lot of teachers just happen to be Disney fans. I've seen that a lot. But how do you kind of get into this?
Yeah, I think my parents took us growing up every other summer. And I guess because just we were off as students in the summer, and that was the most convenient time for them to travel. Neither one of them are teachers, but 90% of the reason I became a teacher was to have the summer off and be able to travel more. And I've never actually taken a summer off. I always worked summer school until this past summer when I did these amazing cruises. And I went all out and just made the whole summer about Disney in Florida, basically.
So give us that philosophical kind of, because you had a big summer of travel and it was post-COVID. We talked about it kind of, folks were looking at what the newspapers, the media called revenge travel. We were kind of all cooped up, trapped in our homes, and all the restrictions were placed on us in 2020, 2021. And, you felt like you have young children, you felt like you lost time with them. So you were making up for lost time. So kind of give us.
Well, they saw the commercials for the Disney Wish and they really wanted to go on that. So I booked it and the Disney Wish was delayed because of COVID. And I actually had 2 dates booked because I wanted to work summer school and I wasn't sure when summer school was going to start. So they gave me 50% off coupons. And I was like, well, I'm going to use them because 50% off a Disney cruise is the cheapest I'm ever going to get on a Disney cruise. And so we chose the 3-day Wish and we chose the 7-night Magic Eastern Caribbean. And it was just amazing. Both trips were great, but the 7-night, I mean, the longer the trip, the better on a Disney
So
cruise.
So let's focus on the 7-night Eastern and kind of go back and maybe do a little two teachers here, right? I mean, it's like we're going to be talking Venn diagrams, you compare and contrast.
Slideshows.
Exactly. This is not good. You get two teachers together, we'll have T charts and all
So
kinds
detailed.
kinds of graphic organizers by the time the show's done. But
Right.
so when you guys decided on doing this Eastern cruise on Eastern Caribbean with the Magic, and it was out of Miami, you told me in the pre-show. How did you? So, what time of year was that, and how did you guys prepare for that? And how did you land on that particular sailing?
It was July. What was the first date? It was July 6th. And I think we booked that one just because we wanted to visit the in-laws during 4th of July week. And we had already been in, Disney World previous to that. So we were like, this will be a great time to go. The price was right. The itinerary looked exciting. It was places we had never been to before. We had cruised out of Miami before on the Dream the previous year, and it was so easy and convenient to cruise out of Miami. So we figured, why not do it again? And it was great.
The irony of this is that I'm sailing to the Eastern Caribbean on July 6th.
Oh, no way.
This year. Exactly. It's ironic. Okay, this time's on Fantasy. It's not on the Magic, but I have sailed the Magic in her first year on one of her very first sailings way back when she was the only ship. She was Disney Cruise Line. It's like Old Key West used to be the Disney Vacation Club resort.
Yes.
Kind of thing. Okay, so tell us about. So you had already previous experience with Disney Cruise Line before you sailed the Magic. So tell us about, well, real quick, because a lot of people are asking this question, and you're a veteran Disney Cruise Line sailor. And over in the clubhouse and the Discord channel, some people have these kind of questions, and maybe you could give some assistance and some thoughts on this. What about the pre-cruise process, like the online check-in with your documentation and getting everybody prepared, all the stuff you have to do before you ever set foot to Miami or Port Canaveral or Fort Lauderdale or wherever you're sailing out of? How did you feel?
Staying up late until midnight, getting ready.
You only got to stay up to 11. There's a tip.
Oh, yeah. Staying up late, making sure you know what you want to book. Like I said, we had just sailed on the Wish a few, weeks before that. So we were kind of like, maybe we'll just take it easy on this one and not book a million beverage tastings. Maybe we'll just go with the flow because we love a good old fashioned tasting or, a beer tasting. Maybe we'll just do much more trivia on this one. So we did a lot of trivia and a lot of bingo. And
trivia is cheap because it's free. Bingo, not free, but old fashioned tasting's expensive.
Yes. we love it all.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. And, well, so then you did that stuff on the Wish, so you had a pretty good idea. But I mean, did you find the process as far as like submitting your passports, your birth certificates, you take like a selfie for your ID?
I mean, first time we did it was the height of COVID, so it was kind of much more difficult then because my daughter was too young to be vaccinated and she had to get tested before, and you're just like hoping she doesn't test positive. Yeah. This time it's like, okay, that nothing was going to be as hard as that. So it just felt like just follow the instructions in the email and you'll be fine.
That is true. If you sailed when the COVID restrictions were in place, like this is a piece of cake. You're right.
This is like nothing. Like I can handle this.
I've already forgotten about that, but yeah, I did sail during that time because Mallory had to go through that. Like we had to go into the tent and all that stuff, and then you had to sit, look at the monitor, and
you wait, and you're just worried. You're like, oh my gosh, why is this every minute taking forever? But this time it was just like, just board the ship. After you check in online, whenever you're allowed to check in online, how many days before it is, I forget at this point. Yep. But yeah, it was not a problem at all. We didn't have too many things we wanted to book. We didn't want to book a cabana or anything like that. We just really wanted to, go with the flow on this one.
All right. So you had been on the Wish, which we'll again kind of compare them, but when you boarded the Magic, obviously the Magic and the Wonder are the classic ships, so they're the smaller of the fleet right now.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a feeling of, ooh, this feels small, or maybe
Not
you'll
at all. It
I mean,
still
what, how did you
feels
feel?
I feel like it's just beautiful no matter which ship you're getting on. They're all so great. Um, we were concierge on the Wish, so that was a little bit different, just being, like, kind of, like, swept onto the ship in a little bit fancier of a way, but
Yeah.
this was, like, you know, I was so impressed. I thought I was gonna be disappointed after sailing on the Wish, but I actually liked it, just as much, if not better than the Wish, because it just felt like everything was in its right spot, like, you could walk around the whole ship and everything felt like it was where it was meant to be. Like, the buffet felt like it was where it was meant to be. The walking track, the pools, the spa, everything felt like it was in the right spot, you know?
I feel the exact same way about the other ships compared to the Wish. The Wish is a beautiful ship. It is a wonderful ship. But and I've only sailed her once. I think with more familiarity that I would maybe feel differently, but I feel a little bit like it is and I know that they have a philosophical difference in how they put the Wish together, and the Wish was built during COVID. And
Right.
so I think there was a little bit of that thinking of compartmentalizing things on the Wish, and I don't
Yeah, it just didn't
I
flow
wonder
the same
though,
way.
yeah, but it doesn't flow as much as the other 4 ships right now. It just doesn't, and you're right, like, the magic, the wonder, the fantasy, and the dream, like, they have it just like, they seem to make a little more sense where everything is. It's
Yeah,
just
I don't even have
my
to
brain.
think. When I get on the elevator, I just, like, my body just floats to where I'm
Right.
meant to be,
Like
like,
the adult area, back bottom,
yeah,
right there, everything's there, like the buffet, back up, and like,
right,
adult
exactly.
adult pools, forward up, I mean, it's pretty simple. But anyway, so you get in there now, your family of 4, correct? You got 2 younger children?
Yes, an 8-year-old boy and a 5-year-old girl. They were 7 and 4 at the time.
So did they take advantage of, like, I'd imagine, because you said on the Wish you guys did some tasting, so do they take advantage of the kids clubs?
They're obsessed with the kids club. They don't wanna hang out with us at all. They can't wait to be around other kids, and, I feel kinda guilty for not hanging out with them the whole time, but at the same time, they're begging to get their wristbands and go meet other kids, and they can barely make it through dinner before they're begging to get back in the kids club.
And see, I think that it's an advantage when you have siblings like that of similar ages, because, like, when we used to sail, it was just Mallory, because Paige was so much older. They're 11 years apart. So they didn't have a sibling of a similar age. And Mallory had a hard time going into the kids club because she didn't know anybody initially. And, even at the open house, you'd have to kind of make a new friend real quick. But I think,
Mhm.
kids with siblings, if you're sailing with like cousins and stuff like that, and like this time she's bringing her cousins. So they're talking about going to Vibe and stuff. I mean, they're older now, they're 16 and 15. They can do whatever they want. But it's, I think that helps. But what did what were their feedback? Like, what were some of the activities, or what
Oh, they
drew them?
just loved it. They loved, playing video games or scavenger hunts or just whatever programming they had in store for them. My daughter loved the arts and crafts. So on other cruise lines, like their age difference, they might be in separate groups actually, but because Disney is the way it is, they kind of make it that like they can kind of float between the rooms and hang out with each other if they want to, or they can kind of do things more close to their age groups. So they just loved it. Every time they would be so mad when we'd come to pick them up.
That's a sign that they're well taken care of. They're enjoying themselves, and I would imagine that they bonded with the staff in there, the counselors.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, they had a great time. You'd think that they would care about, like, all the fun restaurants, but they didn't make it through any of the, like, grand finale of Art of Animation or Rapunzel's or anything. They're just like, "Nope, kids club."
It's a testament to the kids club, but it's a bummer they missed that stuff, because that's
I know, but, it was still fun, just my husband and I, we still had a good time.
exactly. Well,
Or
you guys have
Rapunzel's
fun.
looking around like, "Where are the kids?"
Too bad. Too bad. They're the kids club. No, they're just missing out. Too bad. They'll have to
They're
do
done
it
dinner already.
some other time. Okay, so tell us about your stateroom. So what kind of stateroom did you guys did concierge in the other one? So I'm sure obviously there's a little bit different kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
But what'd you guys do?
So, the concierge on the Wish was also an ocean view because they have those on the Wish. Because 'cause I'm a little bit, nervous of balconies with
I get it.
my
That's how my
with my
wife.
kids. Yeah. I think they're awesome, but I was just at my daughter being how young she was at the time, I was just a little bit nervous. I was like, maybe, the next cruise. So we went with an Ocean View, deck 2, right below O'Gill's Pub. And that was ideal for our situation because we were there every single night at 9 p.m. for music trivia.
I love O'Gill's. See, O'Gill's wasn't on there back when I sailed her because she was put on O'Gill's like in a dry dock later on because O'Gill's wasn't a thing. It was called Beat Street or something. That's how old I am. Like that's probably 3 dry docks ago. But
well,
I love that.
It's amazing.
I know, well, no, because it's on the Fantasy, and I'll be in there. Trust me, because that's my jam. Like that's because we did a podcast cruise on the Fantasy, and O'Gill's was like the place where we always were. So yeah,
I love O'Gill's. The bartenders, they were so great. They would almost like save a spot for us at the bar every night because they knew we were coming. And sometimes, we'd be running a little late to get from dinner to the kids club to O'Gill's to make it to music trivia on time. And they were like, "Oh, they're coming. Sharon's coming. We gotta save a spot for her."
Well, see, and people ask, why do you like cruising? And what you just said there is what I try to tell people that have never been on a cruise ship. They're like, you're out in the middle of the ocean, there's water everywhere, and you're trapped. People always use that term. You're trapped on a boat for a week, and you're not trapped on a boat. You are basically in a deluxe hotel with great entertainment, amazing.
You're never bored.
You have so much to do. And the thing is, you are treated like a king and a queen. Like that's exactly it. I mean, these people are just taking care of you. And you mentioned this, I think before we started recording even, that you build relationships with the folks that are serving you, your serving team in the dining room, your people in the bars, and the folks that you'll encounter just, taking care of your room. I mean, everybody, it's a weird dynamic how quickly you build relationships with these folks.
Yeah. I mean, it just night after night, if you're like, you find a spot that you really like going to and the bartenders get to know you and they know your favorite drinks and they, you find out what you have in common and what music you both like and where the other entertainment things are going on the ship. And you bump into them at Castaway Cay and you by the end of the week, you feel like you know them so well and you're sad to say goodbye to them.
I hate the last night. Well, the breakfast the morning you disembark is the worst. Like the see you real soon breakfast. I hate seeing that menu. That is
it's sad.
That's just terrible. But the last night dinner is pretty bad too. Like because we always take pictures with our serving team and all that stuff. I mean, that is the weirdest thing, right? I mean, it's like we got to take pictures with our waiter, like our serving team. Like,
and I'll never forget some of their names, like Marcelo from Brazil and O'Gill's, like he was just like the best. And he was so excited to see us every night and just, like have a routine. It was like a routine for him too, and we met another couple on the ship and they were at trivia every single night too. And, you just become friends with everybody around you because you're all in the same situation and everyone's just looking to have a good time.
Well, plus a smaller ship like the Magic gives you more opportunity to run into friends and see them more often. I mean, the Fantasy and the Dream are great ships, but it's a bigger ship, right? So there's just less opportunity that you'll bump into folks like that.
Yeah,
so
and it still doesn't feel small though. It still feels it doesn't feel cramped. It doesn't feel small. It still feels like there's a lot to do, and just you're never bored. You can just look at the app, and I heart like 10 things in one day, and hopefully I'll get to like 5 of them.
I agree. I'm the same way because like any trivia, I'm a sucker for. Yeah, like I love I've always said this on the show. Like when I go on a cruise, I always say I'm just going to sit, and I do try to find like a deck 4, one of those loungers, and just sit and watch the ocean go by. And we sail on a veranda usually, and I always say I'm going to sit in my veranda, and I rarely sit on the veranda. I usually go to deck 4 and just kind of watch people go by on the track and stuff. I'm just more of a social person, I guess. I don't know, but it's just one of those things. But
I can't sit still. I just
same. Like I'll sit on the track for like in the lounger for like 10 minutes, and I'm like looking at the app, and I'm like, but there's towel folding in 15 minutes in the D lounge. Like I got to do that, and it's like there's such random stuff, but the most random things are the best. Like I love, like, where am I going to get to see a diaper dash in real life? Like got to go to that, got to see the kids race, and like that kind of stuff is a hoot.
Right. And one of my favorite things is being, like, the first one up on the ship. Like, I'm up
Oh,
super early and
gotta
walk
sit
around.
sunrise. Yeah.
Yes, just walking around and feeling like you're the only person on there and just seeing what goes on kind of behind the scenes before the crowds wake up and, like, seeing them opening the pools and going to the Cove Cafe and just kind of, watching it wake up is beautiful.
Yeah, because I'm a runner, so I get up before the sun gets up and start my run. Because 1, it's cooler, and it's not well, I mean, it's always humid, but start my run and always make sure that I start when it's dark so that during my run, the sun comes up, and it's just it's my best runs of the year, right? I mean, because it's a flat track on that deck 4, and it's just wonderful. You're looking at the ocean, the sun comes up over the horizon.
Yeah,
Like when you finish your run, you just go grab cabanas. It's like it's like 5 decks above you. I mean, it's like heaven on earth, eggs
right?
Benedict waiting for you. And then you're just gonna have fun the rest of the day with your family. Like it's
My whole family likes to sleep in, the 2 kids and my husband, so I, like, quietly sneak out, and I bring everything I need to get ready at the spa, so I
I've
don't even
done
have
that
to, like.
too.
Yeah,
Yes.
like, I don't even turn on the shower at our place, I just go either to the spa and do, like, the hot tub or go wherever I can by myself, and then get 3 hours of alone time in, come back, and I'm like, "Are you guys ready to wake up and do stuff yet?" And they I force them to stay up late too at night, so they're they're tired, but at the same time, they're like, "Yeah, there's we can't wait to go to the kids club. We can't wait to do it all over again." And if it's a sea day, there's so much to do on the ship, and if it's, an excursion day, then, we really gotta get going.
So let's talk about this because you did the 7 night Eastern Caribbean, which
Mhm.
is kind of a different itinerary. I'm doing that for the very first time. I've done the Western, which is a little bit more port intensive. You have 4 port days, usually with Cozumel, Grand Cayman, Jamaica, and Castaway Key. So you have 1 less sea day.
Mhm.
And I think this is kind of the same way for you. You have those. Did you have the back to back sea days right off the bat?
Yes.
That's what we have,
Mhm.
okay, and I've never done this, so, like, we get on a Saturday, we take off on a Saturday, we leave Port Canaveral, and we don't get to our first port till Tuesday, which I am because 'cause I'm a sea day I love sea
I
days, it's
know.
the best. So I am so excited to, like, leave on a Saturday and be at sea until Tuesday morning,
It
like, I
really
love
is
that.
awesome, you're gonna
Oh,
love it.
so how did that work out for you guys? I mean, it sounds like you're a big fan of the sea day too. So, I mean, I just feel like, I mean, I cannot wait. I'm like so
Yeah,
excited.
I just love
Never-
activities, I just love whatever random activities they have. Like, it's just the simple stuff. Like, they had, like, animal face mask making, and I don't know, they have the new Soul Cat Lounge on the Magic that was new, like, for our sailing, and there was so many activities always going on in there. So we went there and hung out and saw whatever was going on and just really enjoyed. I think the nice part about having 2 sea days up front is just getting really familiar with all the staff and the layout of the ship and just getting really comfortable. And then you're finally, like, ready to do an excursion. You don't feel
Sure.
like, you're, like, not missing anything. You feel like, "Okay, I know where everything is. I know what time I need to be back on the ship to get to my trivia or my bingo or whatever you
Yeah.
have planned for the evening."
Yeah. That's a good point. You get to you feel like, okay, well, I went on this cruise so I could be on this ship and enjoy the amenities of the ship. And right off the bat, you're getting like good 50 hours of
Yeah.
enjoying the best of your ship. So yeah.
There was an Irish band and, they played in different venues every night, so we'd, like, follow them around, and then I think it was I don't know if it was maybe the 2nd night, it was pirate night, so there's, like, fireworks right away, and just, like, you feel like you had a full cruise already by the time you're at your first destination, so that felt really satisfying.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
So let's go through the ports, and then I'm going to ask you about the dining venues because I'm really curious about that with the Magic. But you guys get to Tortola. So what was Tortola like for you guys? What'd you guys do out there?
Tortola was beautiful. We went to the beach excursion, and it was beautiful. They had, like, a trampoline in the ocean.
Mhm.
It looked kinda dangerous. I didn't want my kids to go near.
Same thing in Mexico because we go to a place called Paradise Beach. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm probably too old to be trying that out. Just sit here and just watch everybody else.
Yeah, we really lucked out with the weather, but it was like one of those open air buses you take to the beach, and I was, like, making sure my kids were on the inside and I'm on the outside because I'm like, "This is, like, really steep." And
Yep.
tree branches are, like, whacking you in the face on the way there.
This is not
But
Walt Disney World.
yeah, yeah, you're just like, "Oh, wow, this is," and my kids were like, "Wow, this is so exciting." There's, like, goats and chickens and, things that are
Iguanas.
just not what they're used to, and it takes you to this, like, cute little beach area. There's swings in the water, that type of vibe. Just gorgeous. You're gonna love it. And it was just at my daughter's age, she was only 4 at the time, so there's not that many excursions that she can do. So we're always looking for like a simple, easy beach day. And Tortola did not disappoint with that.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to go there. It just looks like a beautiful place. So we're signed up for zip lining on that day. So
Oh, yeah, that's a good place to do. That looks like a really fun place to do zip lining.
I haven't done that since our honeymoon, and we've been married 17 years. So we'll see how that goes. I was back in Jamaica back 17 years ago. So we'll see how the zip lining goes. It's been a while, but
Yeah.
Mallory has never been. And she's like, I want to zip line. I'm like,
Oh, it's gonna be so
okay,
fun.
fine. We'll zip line, Mallory. So yeah. So we're going to St. Thomas. Now tell us how was St. Thomas? I'm excited for that because now that's where we're doing the beach day in St. Thomas.
Which beach are you going to?
We are going to, I think, Megan's Bay. I think.
That's exactly where we went too. Beautiful. The weather was even better that day. And it's part of the US and we could have Wi-Fi there.
Oh my God, the girls will go, girl. Oh my God, I got two teenage girls and a 20-year-old. You just
Yeah,
spoke your language.
yeah. I mean, it was so sunny and so beautiful. The little bar restaurant they had there was great. And we just spent the whole day just like looking for seashells and treasures. And, my kids just had the best time ever. They have like little showers and bathrooms and stuff. It was a very simple. It felt like almost like a state park or something like that, but with a beach. So
Beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah.
laid back.
And so we've been watching some vlogs, just random, because I'm like crazy to go on my cruise. Like I just can't. Like I just want to take the suitcases out, and I'm still a month away. But and by the we're all Disney fans. Everybody gets like you're within 30 days of your trip, and you're just like I want to go now. So we
Right.
get it. But so I'm just watching any content I can find. But we found a vlog where in St. Thomas, and maybe you saw this. There's like a Skyliner kind of thing up to a bar and grill. My wife wants to go up there and check that.
Yes,
I think we're
we
going to try to
saw
do
that
that.
too. We saw that. So we had enough time in St. Thomas that we did the beach excursion, and earlier in the day we left the kids on the ship, and
Nice.
my my husband and I just took a little walk around, and there's like a little shopping mall, and you can see the little what do you call it, gondola
Yeah,
or whatever that
gondola
goes
sky.
up.
That's
Yeah,
Skyliner. I'm such a Disney guy, right?
yeah,
It's a gondola.
yeah. So we could see all that, and we're like, oh. My husband's afraid of heights though, so I don't think he really wanted to do that.
Well, I mean, it does. It's not. It doesn't look super fancy. Yeah, exactly. It'd take
Yeah,
a.
he's looking a little
I get
like,
it.
"Hey, I'm glad we're just going to the beach," but I would have done
Smart
that.
man.
That looks really fun.
Yeah, we
Um,
just in the vlog. They have a signature drink at that little like open air bar and grill at the top, and the views up there looked amazing. If it looked like you get your picture taken with the ship because the ship's like down in the below you, and it looks gorgeous up there. So
yeah,
we're
yeah,
gonna.
you'll have to let me know how that is. That looks really fun.
We will. I mean, when the wife says she wants to do something, we got to make sure it happens. So
Make it
that
happen.
is the plan. All right. So how about Castaway Key? Obviously, you've been there before, but what do you guys enjoy about Disney's private island?
Yeah, it was so cool being at Castaway Key, within, like I think it was within 2 weeks.
You just left your things on a chair, and then you had one for the next time you got there.
And our favorite bartender from O'Gill's told us where he was going to be bartending at Castaway Key. So I think it was the Sandbar. I forget the name of the bar.
Yes, the
Um,
sandbars there. Yeah.
yeah, I think it was the Sandbar. And we just made sure we met up there and we felt like we owned the place. It was great. We were like the only ones hanging out around that area. And I don't know how we've lucked out with so many great weather days in a row. But that was another beautiful day. And but at this point we were like super sunburned.
Yes.
The Bahamas, I don't know what happens. Every time we get to the Bahamas, it's the day we get the most burnt.
Yep. I I just got my yearly first sunburn at our high school baseball game a couple days ago. So I feel your pain right now,
Yes.
kind of getting over that. So I feel that. Yeah. Castaway
So
Key
right
got me many times too.
Yeah, so right under the, right by the sandbar, it's like a little covered area, and
Mhm.
we just brought our, like, buffet food from Cookies over to that area and sat and hung out there. Rather I was a little bit crowded that day, so I felt like, "Let's go sit where it's nice and quiet and peaceful over by our favorite bartender, Marcelo, over at the sandbar," and my kids are kinda picky anyway, so I was just like, "Let's just get all their favorite things from Cookies and bring it over there and, stay in the same spot rather than traipse back and forth between Cookies and our stuff."
Smart. Now, what did the kids enjoy? Did they do anything like over at Scuttle's Cove, or did they do anything out at like Pelican Point where the big two slides are? Is that too much for them already? Or
No,
what did they do?
they love Scuttle's Cove, so we always drop them off there first, and we're always nervous about how long to give them before we pick them up and make them eat something because I think Cookies closes at 2, I'm not sure, I can't.
I don't know because I'm always there as soon as it opens because I love cookies. Oh my god, we just go to Cookies
Same.
too. But God, I mean, people make fun of me because I'm like, Cookies too might be one of my favorite meals of the whole cruise because it's my kind of food. I love
I
it.
know, like the side salads, so good. I
The,
love
the sandwich and I love it all. The corn on the cob. That's my kind of stuff. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not fancy.
You can't go wrong there. But so I feel like we just wanna pick them up with enough time that they get something to eat before Cookies closes. And so but they're always mad because 'cause they're, like, in the middle of, like, some kind of, like, race or some kind of game, and they're like, "We were just having so much fun. Why did you pick us up now?" And I'm like, "We gotta eat something."
Anytime
So
counselors like, stop having so much fun. Like, I
right?
got my kids out of here. Like, they're gonna starve. Knock it off.
Yeah. And they didn't wanna go down, the slide at what is it called? Pelican Point?
Pelican Point, and their
Yeah,
plunge. I think it's Pelican Plunge, but I
but
think
I did. I just did it a couple of times by myself because, I mean, why not?
why not? That tube slide's quick. It's quicker
It's
than you
so
expect.
fun. It's so fun. So
Just
I
do
made
that.
sure to do that a couple of times.
Hey, it's for the adults. It's not for
Yeah.
the kids. I mean,
They
whatever.
watched me from a distance and I waved at them,
Yeah,
but
exactly. Hey, I'm having fun. It's mom.
we had
Okay, so let's head back to the ship. Okay, I want to ask you about a few things back on the Magic. So the Magic has different restaurants, obviously, than the Dream and the Fantasy and the Wish and everything else. So as far as your rotational dining, which I think a lot of folks know, you rotate to a different restaurant every night. Of course, on a 7-night cruise, you'll visit the restaurants multiple times. Different menus though each night.
Mhm.
Your serving team comes with you. What were the highlights though of your rotational dining? Like which restaurant did you like the most, or which experience did you enjoy the most out of those?
Um, I mean, Art of Animation, the second time around where you get to draw on your menu
I'm
and they
terrible at
turn
drawing, though. It's embarrassment. I can't draw stick people. It's so bad. My guy, I'm like, oh Lord, please don't. Oh, there he is. He's
Yeah,
trying to dance.
we all, like we didn't know that was the first time we had ever seen like, I guess we had when we had been on the Dream, they weren't doing that yet, I don't know, but on the Magic, they took our stick figures and they animated them at the end of the dinner, and, it's just really exciting to see that happen at the end. The food was amazing at Art of Animation, and, those little truffle pasta things that they
Mhm.
have on every ship, there you just I asked for, like, that to be my meal. I don't even want it as an app, I just want, like, double.
I'm coming till I say stop. Just
And that Irish band I was telling you about earlier, they performed, at the Rapunzel's restaurant the second night and just went around with their instruments and played for each table, alongside Rapunzel, and that was so neat to see them in a like, dressed up in costumes in a different element, not at O'Gill's, not at, not at the Soul Cat Lounge, and, yeah, that was, like a really big highlight of the night because it's like, "Oh, these are the same guys we've been, like, going to see every single night of the ship, and here they are for a really great meal," you know?
Was that kind of akin to your like the frozen dinner experience on the Wish that you had a couple weeks before?
Yes, yes, but way more, I feel like laid back, less
Yeah,
of like a
I agree. Okay, because the frozen meal is fun, like, but it is like a 3-ring circus during there.
It's
Like,
a production.
man, like you're swinging your like you got your napkin. Like I was Scott, because we were this podcast cruise, right? So we had like 100 of us in there in that restaurant. We're swinging our napkins, we're singing, dude. Olaf's at our table trying to like talk to us, like the Spin or whoever is coming around. Like, I mean, and playing the guitar. I mean, it was wild. There was
It's
so
fun.
much going on. Like I couldn't even eat. Like it was crazy.
Exactly. This was more focused on the food and, the music in the background, and then they would come around to each table and kind of like, so you had a lot of breaks to eat,
I told Scott when we left that meal, I'm like, I'm exhausted.
right?
The frozen meal. I'm like, it was fun, but dang, I need a nap after that thing. It was wild. Like I get the kids were just all pumped because I mean, it was just crazy. Like the waiters are dancing with like shields. I don't even know what that was all about. Like it was just, I was like, I don't even know what I just saw.
It
But
was a blur. It was a blur. I couldn't even I can't even remember it all because it was just so much happening and it was dark and
crazy.
it was.
It was fun. It was high energy, but it was, man, I was like, when do I
Yeah.
eat? Like I'm hungry. Like I mean, they kept bringing the food out. I couldn't take my eyes off stuff to eat. Like I was like, there's too much happening here. I got to watch. Okay, so over there, so you had those meals. Did you guys do any adult dining when you were on the Magic?
No, we didn't. We did do Palo brunch when we were on the Wish because we were docked at Nassau, and I don't typically get off at Nassau because I've been there so many times that I was like, let's try Palo. And my husband forgot to bring pants.
We are so alike. Okay, I forgot pants and shoes one cruise because I swore I packed them like early. Got it was the morning of Palo brunch. This is a podcast cruise too, and lo and behold, I go into my stuff. Nope, no pants, no shoes, no belt, nothing. So I'm
Did
like,
they give you the loaner pants?
they did. I went into they're like, sir, we got you covered. They're like, what size do you wear? I'm like, okay, I told them, and then the magic mirror opens up or whatever in Palo, and it's like not a magic mirror, it's actually a drawer. It's like a closet full of like loaner pants and loaner shoes. I'm like, you guys are the bomb. So I got pants. It was
They
so
stopped
crazy.
him right at the door. They were like, do you have at least a pair of jeans, sir? And he was like, no, I'm coming from like 95-degree Florida weather for the past 2 weeks. I didn't even think about pants. So they were like, well, here you go. Here's some loaner pants.
Yep, same. I went up like 2 hours before and I told them, I'm like, I'm gonna have to cancel. Like I just told them, I'm like, I'm just coming clean. Like I gotta cancel. I don't have any pants. Cause I was like, the same way. I just had shorts. I'm like, I'm not
Thank
trying to
goodness for the loaner pants, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not trying to break the rules. I'm like, I gotta cancel. Like, why do you gotta cancel, sir? I'm like, I don't have pants. I was like, it was like a Seinfeld episode or something.
Yeah.
He's like, sir, I got you. What size do you wear? I'm like, I
But
don't
we
have
still
shoes.
talk about that.
I'm like, but I don't have shoes either. He's like, sir, we got you there too. I'm like, you're kidding me. He's like,
He even gave you shoes? Oh,
yes.
wow.
I was like, this is unreal. And then the whole meal, I just kept telling my wife, like, I'm in loaner pants and loaner shoes for this meal, but it was worth it because the chicken parm and all that food and the sticky buns. Oh, they were worth it.
Bread. I mean, oh, that was one of the best brunches I've ever had. It was so good, but being concierge on the Wish made it easier to book things like that right away because you can book a few days earlier, I think it is.
Oh yeah. You get the first dibs of everything. Yeah.
So with this one, knowing that we weren't going to do concierge on the Magic, we were like, well, we at least experienced that 2 weeks ago. Now we can, see what else there is to offer. And I would definitely do Palo brunch again. But I mean, I love Cabanas too. Like Cabanas is fine.
Yeah. We love Cabanas. Like some people like rather have, table service, breakfast and stuff, but we're huge Cabanas fans. We might do like one table service breakfast because we're doing a 7-night cruise, right? It's a long cruise, but I just love going up there and trying out all the different stuff, especially because that one morning they'll have those churro Mickey waffles. And I will not miss that.
I definitely can't miss those. But since I'm up so much earlier than everyone else, I usually eat my first breakfast by myself at one of the sit-down places. And then when I wake them up, we go to Cabanas all together.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a Diamond Pro cruise tip right there.
Yeah.
You get up early, see the sunrise, get 2 breakfasts. That's how you do it. Okay, so one other thing I want to ask you about the Magic, then kind of compare the Wish a little bit. Entertainment, as far as shows and stuff like that, we kind of talked about some of the smaller things that you did. with the cruise director staff, the cruise director's entertainment staff, but like the big like shows in the Walt Disney Theater. What stood out as far as that kind of stuff?
So we love the stuff on the Magic that is kind of like the magicians and the jugglers and those kind of things because my kids really love that. They're not so much into musicals and
Mhm.
things like that. And like I said, it's so hard to get them even out of the kids club. So it's kind of like, all right, let's get good seats to go. Like they love the juggler. I don't know what it was about this guy. He
I love a
was
juggler. I mean, I love a juggler. It's
he
everybody.
was hilarious too. So, I mean, he had like a good spiel going and he like, did really good crowd interaction. So that was our thing. Like we're more of trivia bingo people than we are show people. So, it's kind of like you have to choose you can't do everything. You have to choose what you want to do. Do you want to do dinner and the show or do you want to do dinner and some other kind of activity? So it's really a hard choice. We might pop in to just like watch 5 minutes of, the Little Mermaid show or the Beauty and the Beast show or whatever they have going on. But we didn't do too many of the shows just because we bonded with our, cruise staff and O'Gills so much that that's really where we wanted to be.
We sound so much alike. We're because I've seen all the shows, but I don't go back and usually see them multiple times. I've seen Believe. I've seen a couple times. I've seen Aladdin. I've seen most of the shows on the ships, the Golden Mickeys, multiple times. But at this point, like you said, I'd rather kind of just walk around the ship, see the sunset, go to trivia, hang out at.
I just can't sit still.
Exactly. I think it's a teacher, right? Teachers
Yeah.
don't sit still ever. I mean, it's
I feel like I need to be doing something constantly. So, maybe I'll get a refill of popcorn, sit there for a little bit, and then I'm like, oh, there's so many things coming up on this app that I want to be doing right now.
right. It's like bzz, bzz, 10 minutes, bzz, bzz, 10 minutes. You got to be in the D lounge. Okay.
Exactly.
So, did you guys do anything down in the adult, like night area? Like, did you have any of the variety acts? Do you guys do like Match Your Mate or anything that kind of stuff?
Oh, we always wanted to, but we just had so much fun, like doing the O'Gills thing and just kind of like, if the kids did want to get picked up, we'd do like some kind of like dance party with the kids and Goofy. I guess that was that the D Lounge too. I'm forgetting the
Probably.
names of
Yeah,
some
I
of these
can't.
places.
Yeah, because some of them have the same names, some don't, but they're kind of all the same.
Right, I'm mixing the
Family
wish, the
venues.
magic, and the dream all together at this point, but yeah, those type of places, our favorite thing to do at night was just kind of, like, walk the whole ship and see the ocean at night, and then just kinda see what movie's playing by the pool, get some more snacks, whatever's open, candy shops,
Yes.
more ice cream.
Right. That's the beauty. Like, it'll be like it's like a Tuesday night at 10:30 at night, and you can go get an ice cream cone or you can go get a piece of pizza and sit there out in the open air in the middle of the ocean and watch funnel vision, and watch, Pirates of the Caribbean on the big TV or something. It's just the
One of
best.
the simpler things that we really enjoyed on this cruise that we did for the first time that we never did before was get room service. So when we'd finally all get tired around like 11, we'd like order room service and just watch like Hercules on the TV in the room. And the kids thought that was one of the most magical parts was just, sitting around together eating chicken tenders and fries at 11, watching Hercules and asking for like, you know, hot chocolate chip cookies to be delivered with it. They
We
thought
always
that was amazing.
we always say we're gonna get room service. Like my wife just said it a couple weeks ago, like this cruise, we have so much we have a week. We're gonna get room service. And we always say it pre-cruise and we always forget to. Like,
We
because again,
yeah,
we get busy and like all of a sudden the cruise is over, like, oh, we didn't get because again, like she's like, oh, we'll get room service, we'll like, have breakfast one morning on the veranda. Nope, it never happens because we go to cabanas. It's just
well, my husband didn't even know that you could get room service because he was like, "Oh, everything is closing, the kids are still hungry." I was like, "Well, we could just get room service." And he's like, "Wait, we could have been doing this all along?"
yes.
So then I think we did it like the last 3 nights in a row. We got room service and it was amazing.
Yeah, years ago we did it a couple nights and it was a genius, right? We get like Mickey bars and
BLTs or
chocolate
whatever.
chocolate chip cookies, right? Just before bed. Like you don't need that, right? I mean, you've just gone and had like a big old meal, and I probably had an ice cream cone on the way back to the room, and I'm getting Mickey bars and
And I ate
chocolate
2
chip cookies.
breakfasts earlier that day.
Like that's the last thing I need is somebody knocking on the door with Mickey bars at 10:30. But
But I get so much exercise on these ships that I like. It doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah, I do get up and run, so that's how I justify it for myself. Okay, so but we got about 10 minutes left, and I did want to kind of address because you have a really, really unique perspective in this since you sailed on the two different class of ships. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, you've sailed on the newest ship and the most senior ship. I'm going to be nice to the Magic,
Yes.
the oldest ship, the original ship, within like a month's time. So I think that's a really cool perspective. So we've kind of addressed that you thought that there's kind of more of a flow to the Magic's layout as to the Wish is kind of more compartmentalized and things kind of take a little bit more time to find your way around. But uh, you sailed concierge on the Wish. So I mean that was definitely probably a definite treat that doesn't happen every day. So give us real quick, kind of summarize what you felt about the Wish when you guys sailed that. What were kind of the highlights of that experience?
That the cool part about that was the concierge portion of it. You have your own, like, that lounge was so amazing,
I can't imagine.
and just, like, the kids would go in there and they were treated like a little prince and a little princess, and they had all the unlimited candy and macaroons and Reese's Pieces that they wanted, and they're just giving us champagne, and we had our own little private, little pool and sauna area, and you kind of bond with the other concierge, travelers, and it's nice because it's like a ship within a ship.
Yep.
You kind of
That's
like
exactly how I've described it to other guests that ask about. It's like it's almost like its own little subset of the cruise ship, right? Because it's kind of a locked off area, or with access limited
Yeah.
area of the ship. Yeah.
Yeah, so you find more people, like, you bond with those people because you bump into them more, you see them more, and you see what excursions they're doing or what, things they have booked. So that was really cool. That was the best part about being concierge. But the I'll do whatever itinerary is longer going forward. I
Yeah.
think I'll sail in whatever room, in whatever category, just as many days as possible, because I feel like just, spending as much time exploring the same place is where you really, like, have the most fun getting to know other people and bonding with other people.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I just want to be on the ship and at sea. Like that, the difference between like an inside and a veranda, there is something to be said for that. But I mean, if it means like a 3 night in an inside, or 3 night in a veranda, or like a 7 night in inside, I would take the 7 night in the inside because I just want to be on the ship. Because once you're outside of your stateroom, everybody sees the same thing on deck
Right.
11, and everybody eats the same food at cabanas, and
And it's a
everybody
process
says the
to
same
get
shit.
on, it's a process to get off. So those are the least fun parts for me, is getting on and getting off. So if I could stretch out the middle part as long as possible, that's the best.
And you said three. I mean, before we start recording, like, and I totally agree. Like 3 nights is just it's so quick. I mean, you feel like you're getting on, and you're just getting into the flow of the cruise, and all of a sudden you're getting your luggage tags and everything, and your survey form on your bed that the cruise is just about coming to an end as you're getting into the flow.
And maybe I would have liked the Wish just as much if I had spent a full 7 nights, but I feel like I really only got a taste of it. Like, I only got to go to the Star Wars lounge once.
Mhm.
That's not enough times.
Yeah, we had a 4 night. I mean, it only does 3 and 4s, and we did a 4 for the podcast cruise, and I just felt like it went by. Well, again, we had like 100 of us, and with that many people, it was so great just hanging out with people, but it just went so fast because we were constantly, talking and mingling, and all of a sudden the day went into the evening, and
Yeah.
I just
Feel
didn't
like you
get
need
to
at
do it.
least 5 nights.
Oh my gosh, at least, that's why I'm so looking forward to the 7 nighter, because it's just you actually do get to slow down and explore the ship and stuff like that. But about the Wish, one last thing though. So is there anything unique to the Wish? Like, for example, one thing I really enjoyed about the Wish was how they did that kiss goodnight in the atrium. That was something I thought that they brought to the Wish that was super unique, and it reminded me of bringing the parks to the cruise line
Mhm.
right there. And people got a kick out of that, kind of going down, and a lot of people laid on the floor and looked up at the ceiling, at midnight, and took
We
that
never
in.
actually saw that.
Oh, it was neat. It was really, I mean, I didn't do it till the very last night of our cruise because people were making a big deal out of it, but I like that. But I mean, is there anything that really stood out about that ship to you guys?
I mean, what about the slide that goes into the kids club?
See, I didn't get to do, I mean, I didn't get to do, my kids are
See,
all,
there's not enough nights.
I
If
know.
we both didn't get to do some of the really cool things, that just shows you that we do have the treasure booked.
There you go. I'm curious about that ship too.
So I'm curious to see like if 7 nights on that style of ship will be if I'll fall in love with it as much as I did with the Magic and the Dream.
I think so, because I think 7 nights is going to give you time to get comfortable with the layout. You're going to find yourself around. It's going to have more variety of things happening. So I think that's going to help. And
Yeah, and it just looks so
honestly,
cool. The colors, oh my gosh.
that's it. And I think too, I mean, here's my philosophy on this. And again, different strokes for different folks. So don't come at me, but because you guys all know my social media stuff, so you can find me easily. But here's the thing. The Wish is, I think it's a very like princess themed ship. Like it's just, and it's an aesthetic for a certain crowd, and it's not my aesthetic. It's a beautiful ship. It's gorgeous. But I think the Treasure is more my like aesthetic, right? It's more like
those deep
like
dark blues.
It's like, so it reminds me of like a floating basement, like this is like a Pirates of the Caribbean type kind of like it's like the Black Pearl or something. I know it's not going to look like that, but
no, it's really beautiful looking. The pictures are amazing.
Right. And of course, with every evolution of a ship, they're going to take, well, what did people say they liked about the Wish? And what did people say they hated about the Wish? Okay, let's don't do that again. Let's tweak that a little bit. So I'm hoping that when they put the Treasure out, they tweak things a little bit to make them a little bit better. 7-night sailings, though. I mean, the 7-night sailing is always going to make people happier than a 3 or 4 night. 100%. I mean,
exactly. Yeah, so, I feel like people aren't getting the full Disney cruise experience if they're only doing 3 or 4 nights.
I mean, it's a good taste, right? And it's also, it pairs, and I think the reason they did them in the first place, it pairs really well with the Walt Disney World vacation. Because when Disney Cruise Line launched back in the late 90s, it was always that land and sea package, right? You would either do 3 nights at Walt Disney World, 4-night cruise, or 4 nights at World, 3-night cruise, and that worked out great. But Disney Cruise Line is such a great vacation. A lot of people are just like, let's just go on a cruise. Let's go 7 nights. Let's go to the Mediterranean. Let's go to Alaska. Let's go.
Yeah, and then you really get to experience that amazing customer service.
Oh, so good. Okay, so we got to wrap because we're getting towards the end here. But what's on? Like, you guys are Disney fans, and you said you got a Treasure cruise looking forward. But what else do you guys hopeful for as far as Disney vacations? Walt Disney World, like maybe you guys have anything on the itinerary for that?
Yes, we're going so soon. Our last day of school is June 14th, and we're driving straight down. And we are going to be staying a few nights at the Animal Kingdom Lodge concierge or club level. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, so nice.
I know we've never stayed at the club level at Animal Kingdom before. And we've only done it at the Beach Club and Coronado. And we're just so excited I just can't wait to see my daughter's face. She loves animals more than anyone. So if she can see animals and have unlimited Uncrustables whenever she wants.
If that isn't the perfect, like, oh my gosh, for a kid, unlimited Uncrustables, that's like me and unlimited fajitas. Or
She's like, are you sure? Can I have enough? Like we went to Coronado and did the club level there for a couple nights. She was like, this is too good to be true. Like unlimited Chupa Chup lollipops and Uncrustables. And and we can see the fireworks. Like, this is really, really cool. So now she's going to get to see animals and unlimited Crustables. So spoiled kids, I'll tell you.
Real quick, because I had a guest today, and this is just me being trying to helpful for one of my guests who's a diehard listener of our podcast. She just booked Coronado, club level, Grand Destino Tower. Give me a quick, like 1-minute review of that. She was asking about so club level has its own floor, correct?
Yes.
It's Coronado. Okay. She was asking about that. So I told her that. But did you guys enjoy that? The lounge was nice, and
it was the best value ever.
That's what I've heard. that's what Pam Forrester says.
We had the hugest room. It was a 1-bedroom deluxe, and it was so spacious for the 4 of us. There was so much room, 2 bathrooms, and the club level. The people that worked there were unbelievable. They had answers for every question. It looked like it was going to be a far walk to the pool, but it wasn't that bad at all. And the food was amazing. It was like Spanish tapas style. And I mean, I can't wait to do it again. I think we're going to go for New Year's Eve.
Oh man, I love Coronado, but I can't imagine what it would be like to be spoiled up there in the club level.
It's really worth every penny.
All right, there you go. Haley in Georgia, there's your answer. So now you can just get more excited for your upcoming trip. So I got you
I could
some.
talk about it for hours.
There you go. I had to get it for because we were just talking about that this afternoon via email. Hey, what you guys had an amazing time. I appreciate you sitting down with me. You've got me so excited to get to the Eastern Caribbean for the first time myself. I can't wait to go to Tortola, St. Thomas. I'm excited. I'm probably just as excited for all the sea days and all the good
I know.
we are so alike. And again, thank you for being a teacher and helping those kids, and well-deserved summer right around the corner.
So
And
soon.
just appreciate the time. So thanks for coming on the show. We'll have to do this again soon.
Thank you so much.
All right. Don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you out there and see the world. Get the Disneyland, Walt Disney World sale with the Disney Cruise Line. Here's the good news. If you go on the Disney Cruise Line, we give you an awesome onboard credit, and it costs the same as booking directly with Disney Cruise Line. So check out all the details over at themagicforless.com. It's up to a 5% onboard credit. So you'll have some money sitting there right in your account as you board the ship. So you can use it for tastings, for your port adventures. Just don't use it for the gratuities. That's boring. I'll find you if you do that. Have fun with that onboard credit. And you, of course, little booking bonuses for Walt Disney World and Disneyland as well, like Disney gift cards, travel, laundry bags, all kinds of goodies. So check out all the details over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That really helps us out. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so much to our Patreon supporters. You guys keep the show on the air. So I thank you so very much for that. You can support us starting at just $5 a month. And you can do that over at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. If you do, you get our bonus show every week. It's called Mike in the Midwest. We'd love to see you over there. Please give me a follow on the social media at Be Our Guest Mike, Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. And don't forget, we hang out 24/7. We have an amazing community that talks Disney all the time. We talk more than Disney. We talk about our corners of the world, where we're all from. We talk sports. We talk all kinds of stuff, but mostly Disney. Come over to the Be Our Guest Podcast Clubhouse for the best community out there. Just swing by beourguestpodcast.com/Discord, and I'll personally welcome you to the clubhouse. So come on over today. Finally, join us Sunday night. Scott joins me. We take your calls. You are a part of the show. You become one of the co-hosts immediately. So join us Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. And just tune in at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or Twitch, and we'll be taking your calls. So give us a holler and let's talk Disney. All right, time to get out of here, and we'll get back together again on Wednesday. Of course, that'll be time for your listener questions. So until then, you guys have a great week. So for Sharon, who had to take off there in Philadelphia, I'm Mike here in Missouri. You guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. All righty. Thanks for hanging out with me, everybody. Let me save this real quick. 2498. Here, you want to, I thought I'd do this today. You guys want to see what it looks like to edit the show? So let's do this. I will show you what it looks like to edit the show. Let's see if I can do this. All right. So what I'm doing now is saving the file. Just in case you're bored and have nothing else to do. This won't take long. Now I got to do the pre-read. Nichelle, thanks for the great feedback during the show. I appreciate that. All right, so it's saved. All right, so now I need to do the pre-read. So here we go. So I do a new audio file. Here we go. Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. Today, we've got a great show to get your week started. We are speaking with Sharon out in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, about an amazing 7-night Eastern Caribbean cruise on the original Disney Cruise Line ship, the Disney Magic. We also kind of talk about her sailing concierge level on the Disney Wish because she had a cruise that was scheduled during COVID. And because they couldn't take that because it was delayed, the ship was delayed I screwed that all up. So see, sometimes I screw up. I got to start again. So I'm going to take that one out and do that one more time. I don't like that. So we'll delete that and do it one more time. Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. Hope you had an amazing weekend. Today, we've got a great show for your feed here. Sharon joins us from out in Philadelphia, and we talk about her amazing Disney Magic cruise to the Eastern Caribbean. And we have a good time discussing why cruising is so fun for her family. She's got 2 younger kids and her husband, and they really enjoy some of the simple things, the sea days and going to the beach at the ports like Tortola and St. Thomas and just playing trivia, bingos, things like that on board. We talk about their deluxe ocean view stateroom that they enjoyed during the cruise, and we get some unique perspective too, because they had a cruise that was canceled during COVID because of the delay with the Disney Wish coming online. So they had the opportunity to rebook, and they booked 2 cruises, and they got to sail the Disney Wish and the Disney Magic within a month of each other. So we did a little bit comparing and contrasting the 2 ships, the newest ship and the oldest ship in the Disney Cruise Line fleet. So here's Sharon's thoughts on both of these experiences on today's show. Of course, don't forget our podcast is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan the next Disney vacation. So check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make all this possible. We could not do this without you. And you can support us as well. Just $5 a month, and you'll get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. Coming over, we'd love to have you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Now we get this ready. Now we put the voiceovers in. We get the background music. We will go with this. We will go with this. Now multi-track it. We'll go with this. So now we just put it together like a puzzle. We go that first. Then we go this. That one's always too loud, so bring that down a little bit. Then we put the background loop in. Then we bring in the interview. Cut off the beginning. Dead air. Oops. See what it sounds like. /Be Our Guest podcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2498 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Monday to you and welcome to the month of June.
Off as students in the summer, and that was the most convenient. Making sure you know what you want to book.
They didn't have a sibling of a similar age, and Mallory had a heart. Right? I mean, it's like we got to take pictures with our
Yes.
That's what we have.
Mhm.
Okay. And I've never done this. So like we get on a Saturday. We take off on a Saturday. Yeah. Castaway Key's
so
got me many times too.
at night and then just kind of see what movie's playing.
Right there. And people got a kick out of that, kind of going down, and a lot of people laid on the floor and looked up at the ceiling, at midnight and took that
We
in.
never actually saw that.
Oh, it was neat. It was really, I mean, I didn't do it till the very last night of our cruise because people were making a big deal out of it. But it's a very like princess themed ship. Like it's just, and it's an aesthetic for a certain crowd, and it's not my aesthetic. It's a beautiful ship. It's gorgeous. But I think the treasure is more my like aesthetic, right? It's more like, it seems like more dark. Yeah, it's like, so it's where we're all from. We talk sports, we talk all kinds of stuff, but mostly Disney. Come over to the Be Our Guest Podcast Clubhouse for the best community out there. Just swing by. Be Our Guest Podcast. Have a great week. So for Sharon, who had to take off there in Philadelphia, I'm Mike here in Missouri. You guys stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening.
And there you have an edited show. Now you just save it. Mix it all down, which if this is a video, that would be rendering. It's almost there. Super exciting, right? Then you got to save it as a file. And then you just upload it to the servers, tell it when it wants to go out, and you are done. So now you save it as an audio file. Got to name it. So it's episode 2498. Sharon, Philly, where she is from. I always put where they're from. Talk Magic, Eastern Caribbean, July 2023 cruise. Save it as an MP3 because that's what you're going to want to download as an MP3. That's what iTunes wants. And we have a podcast. And that's it. Now just upload it to everywhere. No problem. All right. I will see you guys later. Hope you have a good Wednesday night and a great rest of your week. And join us Sunday night for the live call-in show. Scott's going to be in Nashville, but joining us from Nashville as we take your calls. So hopefully I'll see you there. And come over to the clubhouse for real. BeOurGuestPodcast.com/Discord. Come over now. I want to see you over there. All right. See you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.